Hi, I'm Dana Hansen. I'm the president of End Zone Sports, and I am so pleased to be with our guest today. His name is Chris Henseleit. Chris, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty well, Dana. Thanks for the
So,
introduction.
yeah, so great to see you. I was looking forward to this call because I think a lot of the people that we talk to are coaches, and a lot of these coaches actually work with folks that are looking to come to the United States and well, go through the E2 visa process. So I wanted to spend a few minutes with you today to introduce you. Would you mind maybe sharing where you're from originally, where you live now, and maybe we can start from there.
Oh, absolutely. That's great. Yeah, I'm from Germany originally. So I lived in Karlsruhe, Frankfurt, and Munich. And then for 2.5 years ago, we came to the US as a family, my wife and me, to study at the ministry school.
Awesome, that's fantastic. And where do you live now?
I do live now in Redding, that's in Northern California.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. So tell me a little bit about your journey. So you wanted to come to the United States, you wanted to and you had heard about the E2 process, or how did you know about the E2? Did somebody inform you, tell you a little bit about it and what was involved?
That was research. So we came to the United States primarily to study, but while we were here and also being volunteer coaches, we saw the opportunity that Reading just needs more sports. That would be good for the community. So we thought about it, and also we realized we would love to stay in the States, but for that you need an income. So we started researching, and then I stumbled over um, first the franchise concept, which I thought is ideal for somebody like me, um, because without like business partners, you are able to have a strong partner in the background and can do a lot of stuff in a foreign culture, in a foreign country. I mean, I don't know the legal system here too much, so I thought franchise would be great. And then I saw many couple of case studies that E2 applicants often choose franchise models. Yeah, and that's how it started basically.
That's awesome. And so what sports did you grow up playing, by the way?
Well, my first sport, well, the story is I always loved soccer, but my mom wanted me to play tennis. So
Uh,
my first sport has been tennis, but I've practiced pretty much every sport we had in our high school. So I was on the volleyball team, basketball team, track and field, soccer, tennis, you name it. So I when I back in school, I was a sports enthusiast.
Love that. That's great. Obviously, a lot of benefits, as we all know, to being in sports, and it sounds like you were probably pretty good. Is that right?
Well, I think I used to be pretty well balanced in many sports. I was not like super good in one particular sport.
Gotcha, gotcha. So tell me, when you had researched that that you could potentially have like there's an opportunity to come to the United States on E2, and saw that there was franchising opportunities. How did you come across End Zone Sports? Did you do a search online, or had you heard of it somewhere, or did somebody recommend it to you?
Yeah, actually, on a ministry trip, I met someone who was a tennis coach for, I guess, a competitor of Endzone Sports. So I had that in the back of my mind. So eventually, I researched a couple of, I think, three like competitors who offer that, including Endzone, and I compared what's good for me, what I think makes most sense, and I found Endzone the most lean and the most powerful model.
That's awesome. So, and did you have a chance to talk to the owners and then obviously talk to Tony? Like, tell me a little bit about the process that you went through to kind of vet End Zone.
Yeah, that was pretty unique actually. So when I applied for Endzone, immediately Tony, like the CEO, he got in contact with me and he got in touch. And so he was my like process partner for the entire first 2 months. He introduced me to 2, 3 successful franchise owners in other states, and he just consulted me along the way. So I didn't meet anyone but the CEO and 3 franchise owners for 3 months, and I was taken very well care of. I mean, that was like a first class onboarding.
Love that. No, that obviously End Zone is one of the, we kind of consider it to be kind of like a family. If you're approved as an owner, you're part of the family, and we kind of hold the hands of our new people as they go through the process and as they become franchise owners. So I love you sharing that. If you wouldn't mind, what was the E2 process itself like? How long did it take? How difficult was it? Did you have an attorney that you were working with? What did that look like?
I think overall it was well manageable. I think you do have to get an attorney, which was what I did, because it becomes very complicated regarding the process details with the consulate. So in my case, the general consulate in Germany. So I chose to, I think most people do that, to hire an attorney. And then I think it was pretty smooth. So like a lean business plan is part of the application, the E2 application. So like a 40-page business plan is required, but I mean, you want to do that anyways. So that was no time lost at all. And then the attorney helped me through the process. The attorney was like, usually costs around 10K. I think it's the same when you hire them in the US. So I compared German, US. So I had a US attorney based in Germany eventually. So with the attorney, the process was, I think it was pretty good, pretty bearable. I was able to do it while working. So I was working full time over summer in Germany. And then in the evenings, I was just feeding the attorney. And that I took 6 weeks cooperation with the attorney to finish the application file. So that was a fast track, but still, I mean, I didn't do it full time. I did it in parallel to work. So I think it was a moderate effort.
That's awesome. I've never been through anything like that. I've heard, stories a little bit, here and there, and I know that not all franchises are the same as far as like, the process. I've heard that it's maybe a little bit different. If there's big capital to invest, obviously this is very low overhead. It's very a more kind of a simplistic business model, so to speak. So I think that might have helped a little bit. I heard that obviously you're a newer owner. You're getting ready for your first leagues. Is that right?
That's right. Maybe if you allow just one thing to add. I mean, after that, I have to add that in all fairness, after the 6-week preparation of the application file and sending it, after that, I still had to wait for 3.5 months until the consulate screened everything and invited me for the final interview. But that was all done smooth. And if you establish an LLC early, the LLC is allowed to operate in the US, so you can hire someone and you can already start. There's no time lost. But yes, so that's how I got started. So I could start early with the marketing, and the entire marketing strategy is very well laid out and very well balanced with all channels defined by End Zone. So I could start that early. Yes, and I'm about to start my first league next week.
Hey, that is amazing. Congratulations. That's the first one is always great. It's obviously a little bit of a learning experience, but I'm glad that things are going smoothly for you. Man, I really appreciate your time. I know you're busy, and it really means a lot that you would take the time to talk a little bit today with me, especially about the E2 process. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, I mean, I can only, I would, in Germany, we have a saying, looking backward, you're always smarter. But I would do it the same way again, because it's a pretty manageable process, and yeah, it was worthwhile doing it, and now I'm super happy to ramp up this franchise, and I'm looking forward to it.
Chris, thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate your time. Have an awesome day, and I can't wait to hear about your first season.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Dana.
Hey,
Pleasure.
thank you
Pleasure's
so
on my
much.
side. Have a great day.
Hey, you too. Bye-bye.